All right. Hello, everyone. It's David MacDonald here, Nest River Railroad. So, today I'm testing out, it's my birthday today, and for my birthday, my wife bought me a vlogging rig for my iPhone. So it's got a microphone and an external light. I don't need the external light at this point in time, but the microphone, I'm hoping, will make things a lot easier for you guys to hear me. I did a test run, and although you can hear a loco running in the background, I found that it didn't dominate the speaker like it did when I was just working off the iPhone microphone. It doesn't dominate the microphone. So anyway, here we go. Righto, so I've been working on weathering up my Athern Bethgons. So I'll see if I can get that to focus or something. Will it focus? Yeah, a little bit. So I don't really like the heavy weathering. So these have been weathered up just, nice and dirty, dusty sort of thing. Some are brown, some are more black. I've tried to not make them very uniform. Now, what I'm also going to want to do today, or what I want to do, is I have the plastic coal loads. So you guys would have seen the video that I did shaving them down and adding the weights to them. Well, I've still got a couple that need the weights added to them, and I'm not going to video that because you've already seen that. But what I have been doing is I have been adding real coal to the top of the plastic ones. I had a friend come up and visit a week or two ago, and he was very generous to leave me a jar of coal. So I've been using that to dead fly. I've been using that to make the tops look like real coal, which, a little bit more realism. So I'll do a quick snip on how I do that. I've got a lot of them half done, got the other half to do. So I'll do a quick video on how I do that once I have all the plastics weighted. That'll be the final step. All right, so I hope I don't get too rambly. All right, everyone, so where I'm going to start. So this is the finished product of what I'm going for. So that's my Athern Bethgon coal porters. If you've seen any of my previous videos, they're really beautiful and nice and shiny, but I don't want that. But by the same token, I don't want them heavily weathered. So how I've weathered this is I mixed up some weathering powder, some of the old Humbrol, which I have left over. You don't seem to be able to get that anymore. And some of these Soilworks pigment colors, very lightly diluted into water. And then I just brushed it on with water. I let it all settle, and then I used a little stiff brush. So I did all that. That's some really poor quality footage there. So I weathered them all up last night. I let them to sit overnight, and then with this nice little stiff brush that I I just came in this morning, and I actually took a lot of it away, most of it away, and then it just gives me that lightly weathered look. And being just done with powders and water, if it goes the wrong way, you can always just clean it off. So, and the coal load, so I'm getting one step ahead of myself here. So that's the real coal load, which I'm going to go for, and that's the Athern one, which looks pretty crappy, but still, it's better than nothing. So what I've already done, as you've seen in a previous video I did ages ago, I sanded off all the edges, and then I attached my magnets underneath. Well, now with the real coal, and if I go and get my magic magnet picker, I can take the coal loads out just like that. Whoa, it's attacking me. And when I need to quickly load them up as well, I can just drop them back in. Now, one thing that my friend Dennis pointed out to me is the Athern coal loads, they sit right up, okay? Now you can actually just tip them out. And so with the real coal, I wanted to drop them down a bit. So I've also had to, where's the lens? I've had to just shave down those little stoppers there a bit. And I'll probably take them down a little bit more anyway. So, but I'll drop him back in, ready to go. So that's the end product of what I want to achieve with this little process. And I'll stop the video. So what I'm learning to do is when I get to a good point, stop and then start my videos again, so I don't have to go and redo the whole thing. So, all right, I'm going to stop now. I'll be back in a second. Okay. So this vlogging rig that my wife bought me for my birthday also has an external light. So I've put that on for this part. So now this is a friend, Dennis, my friend, gave me this technique. It's nothing revolutionary, and it pretty much works on the same principles as how I paint my trees. So basically, I get my coal load, get my little jar here. So, and then I'm gonna paint on just some black paint. This is just a sample pot of Hames paint that I got from my hardware store here in Mansfield. And it's actually the same paint that I use for painting my fascia. And if anyone wants to know, the color of it is what? Night Sky, which is a blue scope steel color bondy sort of color. But anyway, this is as complex as it gets. All right, so I gave the paint a bit of a shake up before, but pretty much paint on a decent blob there. I go about halfway so I don't get it all over my hands. All right, so paint on a decent amount of it there. Okay, and then with my jar, and then with my scoop of that coal dust in a scoop, I just go back on like this, back into the jar. There we go. And the paint essentially works like the glue. And that, my wonderful friends, is how it turns out. So I'm going to set that one aside to set a little bit. I have 6 that are half done, and I have, well, there's another one that's done, 7. So actually, I think they're nearly all half done. So, whoops. So happy days. That's how I'm going to be adding the real coal to my coal loads. So I'll close this bit off, and then I'll come back to you all once I have them all prettied up and ready to go. All right, everyone. So here I have my 15 coal loads, and you see that third one from the end there, it's going a bit funny on the end, but that can be touched up, or it can just be left like that. You know, nothing's uniform in real life. And I also didn't mention that I have just slightly weathered my scale transgevos, just you know, a bit of road grime around the trucks and the fuel tank and things like that. I didn't really want to go overboard with them. And here we have the weathering of my Assamine Bestons. Once again, nothing too extreme. I don't like the really heavy weathering that much. And then if we come back up over to here to my Kato ones, and you'll see sort of similar levels of weathering. I'm pretty happy with how they all look. Sorry if I'm walking a bit fast past you there. So I did these ages ago, these ones, but I've now got down here all their coal loads, which is the next phase. So anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop the video. I'm just going to run trains for a bit. So turn some tunes on and had a bit of fun. And once they've all dried and ready to go, I might show you guys how they run, or it might not. All right, everyone, thanks. So I'm pretty happy with how this microphone and this rig and all this works. So that's pretty cool. I was going to do a video of unloading and loading or arriving or whatever of the coal, but I'll have to wait for them to dry and settle, and then I'll have to just tidy up the edges. But and it would have made the video too long. So anyway, I hope that gives you guys an idea of how I do my coal and things like that. And you know, feel free to copy it. I'm not doing anything original here. And yeah, we're in autumn at the moment and it's gone a bit cold and wet and dreary, but hey, what can you do? So I'll do a video of me bringing in the empties and filling up in the next day or so, might even tonight, who's to know. But anyway, I'll see you all again. Cheers.